Let's talk about the news. And I got to say, we got the story from TipGuest.com. Criminal case against Epstein's prison guards dropped on Thursday. Just one day after Ghislaine Maxwell is convicted of sex trafficking, the charges against Epstein's prison guards are dropped. Now, yesterday, my friends, I pointed out after reading the headline that we would be demonetized. Because when a story is this big and this important, there's no point in trying to dance around it. We will be demonetized. And then, of course, I threw it over to Luke, and Luke just went off. And so we'll carry on with that new tradition. Luke?
This criminal cover-up is reaching its epidemic to the point where...
It's epidemic? What?
You know what I'm trying to say here. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, the guards that were sleeping, falsifying records, the people that were responsible for the
you can't say, can you?
Oh my gosh, Luke.
For the extermination
let's just say Jeffrey Epstein was left alone in his cell by sleeping guards, and then later was found not alive anymore.
Indeed,
yes.
yes.
Facts.
Whatever you may call it. Some people like to name it a part of someone who was running as a presidential candidate, but that's another thing. But these guards were caught napping. They were caught allegedly looking up the news. They were caught looking for motorcycles and furniture and other expensive items. What were they doing? Well, they falsified the records here, and they were the ones that were supposed to be doing the rounds, checking on Epstein, making sure that, of course, he did not hurt himself in any way, shape, or form. And, of course, they absolutely failed on that job. What happened to Epstein? No one knows. The video footage of his first alleged attempt to hurt himself was literally destroyed and not found under the hands of the authorities. That, of course, later came out with the statement by James Comey's daughter and said, oh, no, we just lost the tapes. We don't know what happened. There was, of course, a second attempt, whatever may happen. We don't know because, again, these guards were allegedly too busy looking to buy motorcycles to find out. So, again, the evidence here is being once again destroyed. And the fact that these guards had their charges dropped by the federal government shows you just how complicit, how disgusting, how rotten this system is, and how they want you to forget this very important story, the story of the decade. When the mainstream media was promoting Jeffrey Epstein as some kind of great philanthropist, they were promoting him as some kind of big money guy, a Wall Street guy, a hedge fund guy. Everyone, including even Miss McCain, knew that he was up to extremely awful, horrible things, and everyone within the government knew what he was doing. The FBI knew since the 90s, and they were sitting on their hands as thousands of children were being hurt and literally sacrificed at the altar for the ruling elites to do whatever they wanted to in horrible, disgusting ways. And I got a lot more to say about this, and Prince Andrew's connected to this, but you got to say something, Tim.
I got to say something very important for everybody who's listening to this segment. The reason this story is dropping just before New Year's Eve, viewership is going to be down across the board. Ratings are going to be down. Everyone's on vacation. No one's paying attention. They are covering this up. They sealed the records. The trial was rushed through. We got a glimpse through a keyhole. There was more evidence the FBI had, and apparently was cataloged, that's never been gone through. And now they're saying, with the records being resealed, all of these high-profile individuals who were flying on this plane, never going to find out about it. They dropped the trial. The conviction comes just after Christmas. They're dropping the criminal charges against the guards in the prison where Epstein lost his life. And it's happening during a holiday. It is. You do this. This is a PR dead zone. OK, companies release information. The news comes out on Friday nights or during holidays to make sure no one sees it. Now, I don't have all the answers.
This is
but people, you need to make sure that people hear this story, because as big as it was when we heard Epstein was no longer alive in his prison cell, this story that the guards are having their charges dropped needs to be just as big. And we're fighting a massive 30-foot wall from sea to shining sea, keeping this information out, and that is releasing it on a holiday.
This is absolutely a criminal cover-up and nothing else. What else can you say here? Why did the government say, hey, these people that are responsible for thousands of children never getting justice, these guards that are responsible for these men that hurt children in unspeakable ways, never facing justice, these guards are the ones responsible for it. they have so much weighing on their decisions that night, and they're not going to be held responsible for one of the biggest injustices in our legal justice system. I mean, Epstein was in the hands of the authorities. They had everything. He would have spoken. He would have leaked names. He had the profiles. He had the DVDs. He had the CDs. He had the hard drives on so many prominent individuals that, of course, he surveilled. He had so much blackmail, so much power, so much truth, and the federal government is squashing it, making sure you will never see it. And that is utterly disgusting because your tax dollars, your ignorance, literally allowed some of the worst human atrocities to happen on the face of this earth that were sanctioned, stamped on by the approval of the federal authorities, by the police officers, the prosecutors, the judges, the politicians, the regulators. All of them were involved here, and this system is rotten to its core. And to see this major story break now, on a Thursday, right before New Year's. This is deliberate. This didn't happen today, by the way. People need to understand. This happened some unknown time ago, and now we're finding out about it. It's absolutely crazy.